Back now to our top story. Fresh reaction to President Trump's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Joining us live from the U.S. Capitol, Democratic Congressman Adam Schiff from Burbank. He's the ranking Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee. Congressman, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you.
All right. You just tweeted out that this was an unprecedented betrayal. What's your bottom line point?
Well, the bottom line point is never before have we had a president of the United States on foreign soil, let alone meeting with one of our adversaries, so completely betrayed the interests of our country. He basically told Vladimir Putin and the rest of the world that he did not believe his own Justice Department, didn't believe his own intelligence agencies, had no reason not to take the word of this former KGB operative, who we know actually ordered the intervention in our election. And this coming after a week of castigating NATO and our European allies. It was unprecedented in the scope and scale of the damage the president did.
So the big question is, why is he doing this? Senator Chuck Schumer, the top Democrat in the Senate, is suggesting that he may be essentially owned by Vladimir Putin. You've looked at intelligence that nobody else has looked at, or that most people have not looked at. Have you seen any specific evidence that Vladimir Putin has leverage over President Trump?
Well, we have tried to investigate what I consider potentially the most damning leverage, and that is, have the Russians been laundering money through the Trump businesses? But the majority on our committee would not allow us to pursue that, and so we've been stymied. But the president is certainly acting as if the Russians have leverage over him, as if he is compromised, and that's the most important thing. His actions are those of someone who is compromised. Now, whether in fact he is or not, nonetheless, he is taking steps to placate the Kremlin, to carry the Kremlin's water, to undermine the interests of the United States. That's the effect that his actions are having, and it is uniquely destructive.
You know, he's also infuriating his own director of national intelligence, who put out a response yesterday about this issue. The question is, do you think that Dan Coats or anybody in the intelligence agency should resign in protest?
I do think there are people around the president who should resign in protest. I don't know whether I would recommend that of Dan Coats, but there are people that have been essentially enabling him. I think John Kelly has got to ask himself some serious questions right now about whether his being there is serving any useful purpose anymore, or whether he can serve a greater service to the country by resigning in protest. I would say the same of the U.S. ambassador to Russia, those working on the Russia portfolio. A mass resignation or even a key resignation, I think, would be very powerful and may move the president, if anything is capable of moving him.
Most Republicans are not defending the president on this issue, but one that is Congressman Dana Rohrabacher, Republican from Orange County. He's been a strong advocate of a lot of what President Trump was saying for months now. We spoke with him yesterday in Orange County, and he's blaming this on what he calls the deep state. Let's take a listen and have you respond.
So why did they deep state, these people with their own agenda, decide right before the president's going to meet with President Putin of Russia that they had to do that indictment right then? That was the most arrogant political maneuver that I have seen out of a law enforcement official in my lifetime.
So what's your response? Is the intelligence community working together to try to take out President Trump? Is this all part of a massive conspiracy?
No, of course not. That's a bunch of nonsense. It used to be that deep state conspiracy theories were the sole province of kooks and cranks. But now you have the President of the United States apparently subscribing to them. You have some members of Congress subscribing to them. Of course, you have a lot of pundits on the state-run TV that goes by the name of Fox mouthing them. But it's ridiculous. What we do have in the intelligence community, in the FBI and the Justice Department, are patriots who are investigating what Russia did in intervening in our election, and they have the courage to speak truth to power, which is more credit than most of the GOP members of Congress deserve. The really lone exception, I think, is John McCain, who gave, I think, probably the most powerful and accurate statement yesterday in describing this performance by the president is as one of a unprecedented betrayal of our interest and disgraceful.
Although he was not the only Republican. I mean, Bob Corker, Jeff Flake, others also spoke out against him. Yes or no question to wrap things up. Do you think that Republicans will actually do anything in terms of action to protect Robert Mueller? Yes or no?
No, I don't. And, Alex, you're right. There are some others that have spoken out, but most have given milquetoast statements along the lines of this was a missed opportunity, or yes, we support our intelligence community. That's not enough in the face of a president who is betraying the national security interests of the United States.
All right, Congressman Adam Schiff, thank you so much for sharing your views. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
And we reached out to every Republican member of Congress that represents Southern California. We reached out to the White House as well. We asked them to join us live this morning as well. So far, they've all declined. Our invitation is ongoing, and we hope that they'll join us here live soon.